Hey! Well, if this is your first time joining us on Teach Me How to Wrexham, this is an introductory podcast. This is something that we do as international fans to get you guys comfortable with terminology, phrases, positions, lore of the EFL of Wrexham, things that as a new fan you might be too embarrassed to talk about. We, as older fans, have no humility, so we will gladly ask those questions and be okay. If this is your first time joining us, thank you and welcome. I'm Ran, that is Simon, that is SJ, and together we are RSS feed. We are the RSS feed for your podcast, is what we are. Well, thank you for joining us. This is Teach Me How to Wrexham. How is everybody doing today with your big mugs of Wrexham?
Big mug of Birmingham 1 point love.
Whew. Whew.
That's what I got.
Ollie Rockbone.
Oh, and you cannot wake the house at 7:20 in the morning. Fuck, it's daylight. You're allowed to scream 7:20 in the morning.
Yep. You are.
So
You are.
Apologies to the rest of the world, but for Australia, for East Coast Australia, it was a beautiful time to be watching. And yeah, that second half, pity we couldn't put them away. But
I know.
It shows the growth, I think.
Yeah. And SJ, how was the match for you?
It was great. I felt like the second half, so good, and I just feel a goal coming and just that momentum building, and it was there was just 5 more minutes of, what was there, 7 minutes at a time or something. It was just another 5. We would have
4 minutes of added time at the end of the game, but yeah, felt like 7.
I
think it was 4.
Oh, well, yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be
7.
wrong.
If it was 7, I feel like we would have gone through that last one in. And I will say, I don't know if you remember, but my prediction for Birmingham was 1-1.
Oof. Yes.
But no one won.
Yeah.
No one won.
No one won.
No
No
didn't we?
one.
No one won. You said 1-1.
Sometimes-
No one won.
Sometimes
None
when
won.
you tie or draw, you both win. And sometimes you both lose.
I reckon they were happy with that 1 point at the end, I thought. So
Yeah, I would think so too, with 2 of their players, their better players, being gone that day, squeaking
And-
away. Yep.
Yeah, Mac squishing that other player. He was
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, as a little birdie told me, a.k.a. Simon, they have to do what they have to do because they might have lost or losing good players in the transfer window.
I don't
Birmingham?
think Birmingham are losing anybody because they're spending the billions, but Stockport and possibly Wickham. If Barry and Kona
Huddersfield too.
for 6 million, but then they'll be able to buy the league with 6 mil. So interesting time, and can we get anyone in the next 5 days and counting?
If we didn't spend so much money paying off all the refs, we could probably buy another striker.
But we bought a ref instead.
Money spent well. That's what we
done,
do.
yeah.
Simon. Last week when we had met, you had bequeathed upon your Pride Lands a quandary of quandaries, a puzzle to be unpuzzled. It is the time of the week that we find out the cryptic answer to last week's Cryptik Clue. Simon, what are we in for today?
Oh, you're in for happiness, Ran. You're in for a great deal of happiness.
Ooh.
Do I
Oil
get
lamp, reel, moved forward. How did you go with that during the week? And because the big cryptic crossword clue hint on this one was the moved.
Yeah.
And if you add the words oil, lamp, and reel together and
So
jumble them up.
Can I say it?
Well, I don't have any idea, so I was just going to say, yeah, my thought, I was trying to think of reel them in. So that was my only, I was like, maybe that means somebody that does goals. Does goals. Maybe that means a forward. But yeah, I had no ability to process come up with guesses.
The moved was a hint that it's an anagram, and we're waiting for Ran to point him out. Mr. Ollie Palmer. There you go. The big boy Ollie Palmer. You were desperate for an Ollie as the answer, Ran, and I give it to you. I finally give it to you.
Well, I knew you were
enough clues.
You were greasing those palms for me. You were greasing the palms.
I was.
Ollie Palmer, a.k.a. I ain't going nowhere. Unless, you buy another striker. And, it was like, I think Ollie's not going anywhere this go-round. I think he's here.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Because I picked him to go to heaven. He was my free pass to St. Peter. So, So I went to Cosm for the first time out in L.A. in the city of Burning Angels.
It's a big ball, isn't it?
Yeah, surprisingly, no smoke in the area, so the asthma was doing okay. I brought my backups, which I had to use for air quality, but it's just a lingering thing anyways. Wasn't too bad. I heard that the fires had moved kind of south, so unfortunate for the people down towards San Diego and everybody going through what they're going through. That being said, Rob McElhenney and the group, I don't know if it's the More Better group or which particular group, but they did it as a joint fundraiser with Tom Brady, and it was for the proceeds to the Los Angeles Wildlife and Rescue, I think it is. And so Rob was wearing the Los Angeles Fire Department shirt to raise funds. They had like a can drive. They had people had dropped off like diapers and paper towels, toiletries and stuff at the
not so the entrance to leave the seat. I thought the diapers weren't for you. Okay, right.
No, well, they saw me and they immediately handed me a box of diapers, and they're like, one thing, he's either a man-child or he doesn't know how to use condoms. Either way, this guy probably needs these. And then, so they were doing some awareness and raising, which is just completely on brand with the club, with the community, of the connectedness, and taking the opportunity as what Rob does, taking the opportunity to put some spotlight and some awareness to things that are going on and around you. So that was a really good note. As far as like that fish bowl, it's pretty fucking cool.
Will you kind of describe like how the stadium, or not, I guess an auditorium, can you describe how the layers are, what the layout of it is?
So it is like a fish bowl. It's rounded, like 270 around you, and then you have multiple layers of seating, except for a gradual, let's say a degree of shift in a regular stadium might be here at maybe less than a 45. It's not gonna go up too steep. This was probably like this, from the wall. The seating struck up maybe 20 degrees.
You were down in the good seats? So the good seats for that are the lower ones?
Yes. So one of the buddies from the Phoenix supporters group for Wrexham, we went out as a group out there, and he had got one of the club seats, the box seats, I don't know if you call it a booth or a box or what. And we were all the way down on the left side, and on the same level 2, all the way to the right side was Rob's group. So we could see them from here, but it's we were on the other side.
So how far away? That's a long way away, or half the length of the cop, or the the turf,
probably 40 feet, 45 feet, something like that. And if you shouted, they could hear you. For sure. And it's
what you shouted? What did you shout at Rob, dude? What you shouted at poor Rob?
I said, throw me your panties. I'm not going to put them on eBay. And and that went over well. The cool thing is he did. He threw me his panties. Nice. But yeah, it was, the atmosphere was cool. One of the coolest things I think about the setup and the potential, I was talking to Bryan Swarberg before we went in, and he was friend of the pod. He was on the pod before. You guys know him as Rob McElhenney's right-hand man. He said that one thing they're suggesting, but there hasn't been any feedback on the technology, is to include the crowd noises as surround elements inside so that you can hear the chants around you. Because the sound was great, but it's getting projected
Might be a little bit
at you.
delicate for American ears, though.
We're
what they're picking up. You know, so.
we're way worse than whatever you think we are.
This is like the West Coast. If it was in Dallas or Midwest, it might be a little more conservative. But on the West Coast in LA.
Yeah.
Does the angle of vision change, or are you always sitting in the one spot?
Good point. So that's like my main gripe. So one gripe is that you can hear the chants kind of starting in the background, but you can't hear them, and they prioritize the announcer's voice over the sound, the quality, because they're getting like a feed of sound, and I don't know how they mix it, but I think in that environment you need to have the atmosphere sound louder. And that needs to be, because that'll
commentator.
The commentary, so like that, yeah. So that is in the mix. It's
Mark.
Louder, so that you can hear it, you understand, and it's not Mark. It was from Sky, but you want for it to be more immersive, but you don't want it to be so loud that you can't hear the cheering from the audience beside you, because that adds to the atmosphere.
But if you're visually immersive. Like, it only makes sense to have, like, a equal kind of auditory immersion. I mean,
and what about the vision?
Supposed to be loud.
Were you always sitting behind the cop on one angle, or are they, at the tech end on an angle, or are you constantly moving with the play?
So, yes, you are constantly at an angle, but that angle does change. So that is gripe number 2. And these aren't bad gripes. Experience for going to a theater or something, 10 out of 10 for not being there. Yeah. For not being there, 10 out of 10. Now, the things that they could do just to make it a little bit better where it's more immersive, the other thing is the angles. So you're getting those like 360 shots and those like panoramic shots. However, there's different cameras set along the way. And your perspective changes depending on where the ball is. So you'll see during that time frame, you'll see people looking up, because towards the top they have the broadcast signal coming through. Okay. And so you can look at like kind of the overhead lay. Now, the thing that is annoying, and I never got used to it, and the people around me never got used to it, is if we're back in, say, the far left corner, and there's a play going on, and somebody clears the ball to mid or into the other half. The camera angle switches to the other camera, and the ball might be here, it might be here, it might be here, it might be here. So there's a moment between these plays that sometimes are critical plays where you're doing like, wait, where did it go? Okay, I got it. There's where it's at. And those moments, it's not smooth. Yeah. And because it's going into different locations, your eyes aren't naturally tracking. If it was a thing where as they shifted along, they moved from one camera where this was in the left, and then the next camera was like slightly over, then slightly over. If they did something more along that way, but I can only imagine that they're not designed in the U.S. to track soccer balls. It still does it well, but there's those moments where you're like, ooh, this is probably geared for another sport. Like, they probably watch a ton of football, like American football, in there, and they probably have that science down to a science. You're seeing like literally the cameras of the people that are sitting in the crowd next to you. You see who they are. So I was like trying to see if I recognized any of the people on either side, because you see them clear as day. It's cool. I'll definitely, if I'm available, I'll do it again when they do another one. SJ will be there for the next one. SJ, whatever you do, like wherever your seats are at, especially for football, soccer, don't go on the bottom, which is like there's some seating down there. Get section 2 for football, soccer. Section 2, that's going to be right at the level of what the crowd would be at, looking out at the gameplay. When there's a play on the opposite side of the field, and it's just you're looking through the horizon, bodies are culminated, and you can't make out where the ball specifically is. That's like if you're at the game, you're right here, you can't really see where it's at. So. Not too bad. Yeah, but the experience was good.
when Cannon got that goal in, we were right there, SJ. It was like right below us, in front of us, wasn't it? At Charlton when Rand wasn't there. We saw Cannon get that goal up right in front.
That's okay. So that is probably my favorite part is corners, set pieces. You get this view from the corner of like almost what it feels like for them to be in the thick of it, cool. Where you see it coming and then it's coming over and you're like, oh no, who's gonna get it? So you get to track it coming over, and then like Rathbones score, like you see it come over and then you're like and it's just that thing, the energy, your brain is fooled. Like you feel like you're there, you're screaming, you're on your feet. People were saying, oh, I'm not going to pay more than a Wrexham ticket to go there. Well, as an international fan, you don't pay a Wrexham ticket price to go to the game, to go see there. It costs a whole lot more if you want to go to the race course. Good time, fun time. Shout out to Vicente for noticing me there. I looked over and then he like introduced himself, like, I'm Vicente. And then I was like, oh my God, what are you doing over here? So flew out, made it to the game, gave him some SJ stickers. Said he already had some, but I was like, hey, I might have some that you don't have yet. So take some of those. And what's really cool is like when he grabbed me for that, I got to feel like a superstar for like 2 seconds because I went in for the selfie with him. And then Kaitlin Olson is walking up at the same time. And I was like, hey, Kaitlin. I was like, you want some stickers too? And then so I gave Kaitlin stickers.
Yes.
And then... yeah, and then so she got the stickers, and then I was like, oh, you want to jump in with the selfie? So then I got the selfie with her, and then Vicente got the selfie with Caitlin too. And then so it was just like this nice little Kesmet moment. I think, SJ, is this where I should share the video? Or should we not share that video and leave it for next time?
No, show it. I want to see.
Show it? Okay.
Yeah.
Special treat from the chairman himself.
Hey everybody, this is Rob here, my friend Rand, and I just want to tell you to check out something called Teach Me How to Wrexham. Get in, up the town.
Okay.
I think that's so cool. So what was the conversation with him like about the pod? Were you just like, hey, shout this out? Did he ask you questions about
words.
it?
So like he was totally cool. I went up to him after, and it's like people were up like taking photos and stuff. So I just waited till no one was around. I like gave him some stickers, and then I was just gonna walk away, but then nobody else came up, and I was still just like standing there. And then I was like, I'll ask him. I was like, hey, and I said it in the worst way. I said it like in an industry way, which I shouldn't have. I was like, hey, can you do a promo like for my podcast? And then he's like, nah, I don't do promos. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, I get that. And I was like, can you just say you're hanging out with your best friend right now? and then he's like, and then when I said like, oh, some stickers, he's like, oh, can you give them to Bryan? He carries like all the stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah. And then Kaitlin, she was like right next to him, and she like goes in and shows her pocket, and she's like, I got them. I already got them right here. And she's like shows off her stickers right there.
Nice,
and then
nice.
And then when she showed him off, he was like, oh wait, what? He's like, wait, what's the pod? And I was like, Teach Me How to Wrexham. He's like, oh no, I'll do it for Teach Me How to Wrexham. And like immediately, and then he's like, yeah, let me have your phone. I'll go do it. And then I was like,
cool.
oh, no, and totally cool about it. And then I didn't want to hassle him after that. And then so I just like stepped away, didn't overstep. Yeah. I tried to say some things of like, but you don't know like what is going to be meaningful to them or not. But just to like try to express how impactful and great his impact has been to the community, to the people, to the fans, to the international fans, and like thankful for him teaming up with Cosm, like everything that the work that they've been doing, of like how appreciative and grateful we are. And I hope that there was some authenticity that actually like carried, that he could hold it, because they're doing a great job, especially like us being in the US thousands of miles away. And I got to like sit pseudo and watch the game. That's fucking amazing.
You didn't get the restraining order in the post yet, did you? So
no, so he didn't recognize me. Rob definitely dives deep into stuff, so you never know. So if Rob happens to be watching this too, hey Rob,
hi, Rob.
thanks for watching. Bryan came on, his assistant came on the pod before. Shout out to Bryan out there.
Yeah.
You are the man. Bryan saved my tail that day. I'm not going to say anything else, but Bryan, thank you so much. You're an amazing human, and I appreciate you.
Nice.
And you're amazing. Keep doing what you do. But yeah, so anyways, that was it.
I just saw a rumor that if we get Smith in, does Ollie go back to Wimbledon or something? Does Ollie look to move back down south? But that would be, I would have thought, his choice if he feels he's not getting the game time or he wants to be closer to his family or something. So I'm hoping that it's not true and that we get Smith in and Ollie can be, he and Smith can
I would be
interchange
surprised.
a bit.
Man, I'd be surprised if Smith comes. I've heard there's like this bidding war going on, and like that.
It's not the bidding;
Oh,
it's the
something
manager
about
not
it.
talking to the
Was
owner.
it Wickham got that $6 billion or $6 billion?
$6
billion. Blah, blah, blah. $6 million or pound striker in. Was it a striker? Yeah, I was.
No, they've got an offer. They're going to lose one. Wickham
is
might be
it
losing
from-
Kone for $6 million.
He went elsewhere, but still, I was like,
Maybe that's
Rumor.
that's not official. I don't think, as far as I've
Well,
heard at the
still,
moment. I
you
didn't
know
think that was
what? I don't
official.
want Wrexham paying $6 billion. $6 million. I don't want $6 billion either. But like, I feel like, I mean, that's going to be a pretty exceptional player to put all of your transfer money into one pot. I just think, injuries. I get so nervous about injuries. If we're paying like a bucket load of money for one player and then they get hurt, like, Marriott was doing great and then
That'll happen next year. I mean, if we're in the championship next season, that'll be
you
almost
get
the norm.
money when
So,
you go into the championship.
Yeah.
sorry.
I mean, imagine the record signings that we did last season. And then thinking about what if we got stuck there. I mean, like, there's a possibility that we're in championship next season. So if you're not putting those pieces together, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're not, in my
feel-
view, if you're not trying to get there, given where we are at the moment, you've got to have changed your expectations given the reality of the current position. So I'm hoping that if they do need to spend $2 million, that they spend it. I like you, I hope they don't spend $6 million, but that's coming. That $6 million is coming from a championship club buying somebody. So but then
Okay.
Birmingham have been spending millions on defenders.
I know.
So.
Yeah.
And given it's January and Wrexham tax, we're going to need, if we want to go up and if we've got designs are going up, then they're going to need to pay to get a forward.
Yeah.
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 I
forward.
feel like with Parky and his, the people he's bringing in and out of the team, I feel like we've seen, we've talked about when he signs somebody, he's not immediately slotting them in. It's usually like they've kind of, the person that, that is in that position is, if there's like another defensive player, it's like, well, the one that's on the starting lineup now, then you got to keep playing until he grew up or whatever.
They have to
So
learn
it
the
seems like
system to go
Yeah.
through it.
But
But
then
he
there were,
said, like, he's not going to just, put somebody in because they're new. He's like letting players that have already established themselves in that position keep their position until it's, they're like,
Yeah.
But then I feel like he's doing that with the squad overall as far as people coming in and out of the list. Like, oh, you're kind of not at this level. And so there's people falling, getting kind of let go or not re-signed or whatever. So I would hope that with Ollie, like, like you were saying, he might want more minutes, but I can see Parky keeping him. But not starting him and kind of having that phase down versus, and then that's when he might want to go somewhere else.
Well, somebody would have to go if we bring someone on. So
But then
needn't
you're
be a
like,
forward
so
player.
yeah.
if Dadi
So
goes and
who would it be?
Bickerstaff goes, yeah,
Already lost John Dadi.
Aw.
Maybe Boyle. Maybe Ford's not on the list. Maybe Jones. Maybe
well, but if we're talking specifically about strikers, like
you don't have to
know,
swap a striker for a striker though. That you're not
Well,
limited
no.
to 6 strikers, or so you don't have to. You could keep Palmer and bring in a new striker as well. given we
Sure,
have
sure.
gotten rid of strikers already. You know, we've got Bickers and Dolby out on loan, and John Dadi's gone. So,
And where's Mo Fell? I don't know.
yeah, probably out on loan too, I would have thought.
Yeah,
Then
I would have
hopefully
thought he would
having
be
him
out
not
on loan,
playing.
but
And the only game he's going to play is the Vertu Bristol Street Electric Street
Yeah.
Avenue
Yeah.
Motors thing.
I was like,
bring me
Go
to
and gas
Roll on
chip,
down to the-
electric avenue.
Yeah. Then he scores a hat trick.
Oh, that'd be nice.
You know,
I
in
can see
looking
them
up,
going to a National League team, I would have thought, or maybe even League Two.
I was looking up Mo Fall, and I was like, oh shit! There's like an article from 2 or 3 weeks ago where he scored a hat trick, and I was like, what the fuck was he doing scoring a hat trick in Torquay? You know what? There's more than one player named Mo Fall. Don't know if you guys know this, but there is. Speaking of looking around the league, table talk. Simon, where are we on the table, and where's our
We're in
opponent?
a happy place.
Oof.
Oh, in an unhappy place. We're in the happy place of third at the moment, just 3 points behind Wickham after they drew and poor Huddersfield lost on the weekend. Keeps us safe in third. And our opponent coming up, Crawley, 23rd.
Oh,
But again, the opponent we had the week before, Shrewsbury, are 24th, and we know how that went. So, and yeah, I'm looking at them at Crawley and Shrewsbury. They have one win amongst them in the past 10, and you can guess who that win was against.
Yeah. Ouch.
Okay, so
Ouch.
we should be beating them at their place. You know, they're lucky to score a goal, one goal each match, and give up 2 pretty much on average. So we should be
What's
beating
their
them
goal
2-1,
difference?
2-1 there. Crap, like 2-1, 2-1 loss. You know, so they're
Negative
minus
21.
Negative 21, yeah. 25 to 46. So they're pretty much like, say, for every goal they score, they give up 2. So
Okay.
if, you know, we could win 4-1, 4-2 there. Could be, you know, could be 4-0. So it's one of these matches that if we want to go up and we've got designs of buying $4 million strikers, we need to be beating those teams in 23rd.
Really need to.
yeah.
And their recent performance, you have to.
Three
right?
losses, 2
Three
draws,
losses.
you know. Like I say,
Yeah.
the one win that they and Shrewsbury have amongst them is against us. Yeah. Over the last 10 matches combined, over the last 5.
Yeah, and it-
So it's
was
not
like,
good. So again, you'd hate to that stat, you know, for there only 2 wins to be against Wrexham. So yeah, and of course this week we have Wickham playing Barnsley and Birmingham playing Huddersfield on Tuesday.
It's good
night.
matches. It's good matches.
Yeah, good point. You know, they could
So,
really be taking.
who do you want to win? Who do you want to win on those matches to give Wrexham the best edge
Got to
in
be
the
Birmingham.
table?
Got to be Birmingham to beat Huddersfield at Hudders. Just in terms of, you know, we're unlikely to catch Birmingham, so you may as well just knock Huddersfield out of trying to get us out of third, and we need Barnsley to beat Wickham so that we can catch Wickham. So
Barnsley,
easy.
they're a crafty team.
Yeah, they could then get to they're in 6th at the moment, 42 points, so they're 10 points behind us, you know. So I got no problem with them having a win or 2. They can catch up a little bit, so long as we keep winning as well.
Yeah, those damn Barnsley. I forgot, what is Barnsley's mascot?
Oh,
Do you remember? I don't
Somebody's
remember.
done an episode on that. If
Hey,
you
baby.
Yeah.
look
yeah,
up here,
yeah.
there'll be previous episode. It's the dog. It's Toby Tyke, a cartoon bulldog. There you go.
Toby Tyke. You guys all know him from Saturday morning cartoons, following after Yogi Bear in Hanna-Barbera's Best. Normally...
I'm Hanna-Barbera.
I know you do, that's why I said it. What we'd normally do right now is probably talk about the town, the team, the players that we're going to be facing. We've already covered that background before. SJ, if you want to throw a little link into the previous, you can see about the crest, the badge, the name, the etymology, some history, some famous people.
Toby Tyke.
Toby Tyke. From the town and surroundings. However, since we've done that before, we don't want to bore you too much. If your name is SJ and you had something fancy to show us. Something amazing. SJ has promised us a surprise for probably over a month now, and whatever has happened to us to not get to it, we haven't been able to see this surprise. SJ, I'm going to let you take it away. What's going on with the surprise? What do we need to know? And then, what's the surprise?
When we were in Wrexham, Ryan, I mean Simon and I, not all three of us.
Just the fun people. The fun people of the pod.
Yeah, the fun people. When we were in Wrexham, so we had John on from Zebra Customs. Number one. Well, we had John on from Zebra Customs, and I grilled him, man. I was like, I want some shoes, and what can I get? And so I bought shoes and took them over with me, and he did an amazing pair. And I have a shoe reveal, but I made a little short. And if you want to pull it up, you can get the sneak peek of and the little.
If I'm pulling it up, it's not a short.
Dadi? I don't know what else to.
Wow.
That's a hype joke.
Now we're heightest. Okay, Elliot Lee's coming looking for you.
You know what? You know what? FSJ with me standing behind Rob McElhenney and her going, "What were you standing on? You're not that tall." Screw you, SJ. Screw you.
I sent John the clip, and he's been super patient. He did his reveal of all of his shoes that he made last year. He put a clip together, and he left mine out so that we could do it on the pod.
Oh,
so, extra
that's
thank
so
you
nice.
to John.
That's so nice of him.
Throw that link up on the share screen.
Okay.
I'm excited. I've been keeping this for months.
Okay, so SJ, should I just hit play or?
Yeah, let her rip.
Okay.
It's the best shoe to get custom.
Air Force One white.
Air Force One.
I've probably worked on white gazelles the most. There's good layers on that shoe where you can create like colorways as you probably see with the Wrexham ones and Robs and Air Force Ones and gazelles, I'd say.
Oh, really?
Canvas is quite good to work on. I found that like synthetic leather's fine. Synthetic rubbers and stuff is where you start getting a little bit tricky.
My brain is churning. I'm like, what kind of shoes am I going to buy? That's my ulterior motive for getting you on the pod.
Happy to do it. It'd be great.
That's 50p just for talking to him about the design. SJ, well done. Great edit. Good job. I love that edit. That is good.
You probably saw a little glimpse there. I got.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, slowly, maybe one at a time because those are nice.
I have my Wealth shoe and my club shoe. I'll show you the parts that go together. So I've got 1864 on the heels.
Nice.
askWxm.
Yes.
Yeah. Got my askWxm in there. And then, so for my Wealth shoe, I got the flag and the stripe. Yeah.
And the scales. Look at them scales.
Yeah, look at that big scale, silver scales on there.
Damn, that looks nice.
Some Pluto accents on it. Cymru. Got my Cymru shout out. And then I told him, I was like, I want it to look like I'm like walking on the pitch. That's why it's green. It's like little blades of grass here. Yeah. So, and then on the inside, I got more scales. And then I got the
Emoji. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we are still here despite everyone and everything. So that's my shout out for my Wealth Cymru shoe. Yeah.
Wow. So
That's
you
dope.
on feetfinder.com? Because you're going to make a ton, girl.
Those are dope.
I know. I'm so stoked. And then the club shoe here. Got Wrexham AFC badge, little accent on the toe. And then for the so you can see that there. So that's,
Ooh, that's
part
nice.
of yeah. So it's part of the Fearless in Devotion lyrics, Perfect Lyrics in Devotion. And I thought about it saying
Wrexham
Fearless
is
in
the
Devotion,
name.
but I feel like that is I don't know, it's really common. And what I kind of really wanted to go for was like
Was Eddie hates
respect.
the fucking king?
Facts.
No, I
Eddie hates the fucking...
wanted to go for like respect of the club's history. And so I'm going to do for everyone and everything, we're still here and we'll speak their name forever.
Yeah,
Just because,
that
like,
was-
I may be a new fan, but I wouldn't have a club to be a fan of. It wasn't for how, like, long the club has been around and how rich their history is. And I want to tip a little hat to, the
That
club.
looked
And
really good.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
so,
looked really, really good.
Man.
yeah.
Done a great job.
So, yeah. So,
Well done,
John,
Eddie. Great job. Great job.
John,
Yeah,
you outdid yourself, man. John, if you're watching, you outdid yourself. These are, man. Wait, if John is watching, I had a question. I'm glad you brought those up because I had got a pair of shoes. I'd got some Jordans, and I was like, I wonder if this style is good. John, I just got a question, John. Like, can you do these? Would these be like a good canvas for? I would love to, but like that style, like the Adidas isn't my style. Like Air Force One are okay, but like I love Jordans, man. I love Jordans. Those are my shoes. So if you're watching this, can you? Those shoes are amazing. You've got your shoes. Simon's got his sweet ass dragon. I'm lacking. So this is the wonderful part of the pod where Simon gives us the clue for the next week. You guys have approximately 7 days to get this done. If you win, you might win a scarf or something like that. You might win. You might. We still got a bag of treats, a bag of goodies down here. There is plenty of stuff to still win. So without further ado, Simon, what is this week's Cryptik Clue?
What's the highest value of a hint?
Oof, that would be an answer.
Wait,
What's the highest value? What's the highest value of a hint?
Highest value of a hint. The answer. So obviously the answer is the nickname
Is
of
the answer.
Allen Iverson was called the answer. Allen Iverson had a shoe. I don't know. An Adidas shoe?
Ran
He had
had a
Adidas?
shoe too.
Yeah.
So what's the highest value of a hint next week?
The highest value of a hint. Oof. Well, the fun part that we do every single week is things that mean nothing except for when they're really good clues. I place these on Bet365 and try to win some of the money that I've lost during the season back, and that is score predictions. Let's start with Crawley Town v. Wrexham. This is an away fixture at Broadfield Stadium on February 1st. SJ, what is your prediction? We are Crawley v. Wrexham. Would you like any recent performance from both? Any head-to-head from the past League 2, League 1 facings?
I want to know, so Crawley's 23rd? Yeah. And then how many goals do they have?
25 goals from 25 matches. And
25 goals
46
from 25
goals
matches?
against. Yeah, 2-to-1 ratio, or 1-to-2 ratio, pretty much.
Knowing what our away form has been and our points per match away and our goals per match away, I am going to say 2-0. I think that Wrexham will have a clean sheet. Clean sheet, and I think we'll get 2. And I want to be a little conservative because every time it's a team that's at the bottom of the table, and then I'm like, it's gonna be fair, and then we're fucking hanging on for dear life. So,
fuck you,
I'm
Shrewsbury.
Exactly. I think there's
Back you
difference
in
there.
your League 2. And your League 2 team. Yeah.
2-0? So
2-0.
nil to
2-0.
2. 0-2.
0-2.
Yeah,
It
kneel,
always
kneel
feels
to
weird to
us.
say.
Crawl. Get on your knees, crawl. Kneel to us. Yeah, so we score 2, they score none. I like that. It's coming out strong. Simon, where are you at?
The shackles are off. 3-0 Wrexham.
Ooh. How much?
3.
3.
1, 2, 3.
3?
That's strong.
Yeah.
And a clean sheet.
3-0.
Keeping both
Clean sheet,
clean
3-0.
sheets.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Arthur
So-
may as well stay home in bed. 3-0.
Ah, man. I'm with Simon on this where I think 3's coming. Like, we need to repent for our sins in Schlapschleier. We need to get back whatever dignity we left there. Just make a quick drive by, pick it up, and then head to Crawley Town. I'm gonna say 3 for us, but I am gonna say they get one in. I'm gonna give them one.
Oh,
I'm gonna give them
I
one.
refuse.
And that's only because we've had this weird thing of letting in some in recently, and specifically one. So I hope for the clean sheet, but I'm going to go for a resounding win, 3 goals, and we win it handily. It will look like we could have scored more and should have done more damage.
All right, I'll take it.
Moving on to the what is it? The Vertu trophy,
Electric
the
Avenue. Rock.
electric, and then you get me higher. The league trophy, so commonly called the league trophy. It's Port Vale at Vale Park, so it's another away match. We are going to be playing them on February 4th, so 3 days after.
And one day after the transfer window closes.
Oh, yes. So
But not a match for 10 days after it. So
yeah, a lot of rest time. A lot of rest time coming up.
Yeah, so interesting.
So little history about the league. The League Cup. Originally, I think it was a group cup for you know how there's the EFL Cup. I think originally in its infancy it was like a consolidation cup for people that didn't go on to the League Cup. And then people correct me if I'm wrong. It has had many different names and has settled on since 1996. I'm not reading off of anything. I'm just trying to remember. I think it was 1996. It has been the league trophy since then, most recently sponsored by Vertu. I have no reference of who that is and what their
I
company
think
does.
they own Bristol
I
Street
suppose
Motors.
Yes.
yeah, I was going to say, how many names has the trophy gone by this year?
Oh, this year. LD Vans.
3 or 4 this year already,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 3.
3?
Because it was at the beginning of the year. I mean, kind of technically, I think, too, because at the beginning of the year, there was no sponsor name. They just,
Oh, yeah.
it was
yeah.
just the trophy. And then they had Bristol Motors, and then Bristol Motors changed to Vertu. And so, yeah, 3.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's had 3 names. One of them was no name at all.
It's going to be an interesting selection dilemma because, you know, they're going to be wanting to give time to people like Farl and James Jones and Fordy and whatnot. But they may well no longer, as you say, that's after the 22 lodgement. So will he be going with a strong team to try and actually win it? And given that we don't have a game for 10 days, it will be an interesting selection dilemma for him. I think we've got this one 2-1.
2-1. Okay. Yeah.
How's Port Vale doing? What's their...
They're like fourth.
Top, in League 2, aren't they?
Yeah, they got to be up there. They're like 4th in League 2. Something like that. I think like something like Walsall is like crushing it in League 2.
4th. Yeah, they are 4th.
4th, yeah.
They're okay. What's their goal difference? Do you have it pulled up, Simon?
+5, 33-28. So goal difference.
Only
of 5.
she's 5'3".
I am gonna say Wrexham 2, Port Vale 1. Although we're in 2 different leagues, we have that kind of similar goal difference-ish thing going on. I'm going to be conservative. I usually just say 3-0 for everything, but I don't know. Our back line has been kind of wiggly, even though we're super great defensively. We haven't had a clean sheet in a little while, so I'll concede 1 if I absolutely have to.
Well, interesting to see whether Arthur plays, or is it Brad Foster or even Howard in the trophy?
I would hope.
Same with the back line.
Yeah.
Do we see Boyle? Do we see Brunt? Do we see?
I think so, right? Yeah. Like this, if you're gonna test out and get some game time, this would be a game that you would do it.
Yeah. This is it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that the opportunity for us to get a large score is there, and by that I mean more than our typical 1 or 2 that we've been getting.
More than 1.
But there's also the potential to be, if we score 2 in the first half, that Parky gives game time, at the 65th, 70th minute in the second half. So it's very important for people, especially with the big gap in between the next match, for people to get game time and time on their feet. Very important. So with that, I think winning it is less important, and more of importance is getting people to play together and getting people used to in-game performance. Port Vale is going to definitely want to come and win against us. Yeah. They're going to want to take a win and face us. What is the last one? We drew November 12th of 2024 against. And if you guys remember, that's what went to penalties. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Went to penalties and
we lost them.
And we lost.
We couldn't
in the penalties.
Get a penalty in. We got 1.
Yeah. So definitely, like, they're going to want to show that they can, against a bigger team and a more notarized team, they're going to want to show. So they're going to play hard, which is good for us because then we get good minutes. So long story short, long windage short, I'm going to say that it's going to be 3-2 us.
All right.
So yeah. 2-3. And simply because we're not going to get blown out of the water at the beginning of the match, but just due to being able to let players play and people on, just by nature, there's going to be a few goals that come in.
I feel like at this point, because it's the last outside of the league competition that we're in, I feel like there's, it minimizes that fixture congestion that people talk about. I think it's a good resource for the team, for Parky to be able to keep and give players minutes. So I'm wondering if he'll pick kind of a stronger side and we'll really go for it. I'm hoping so.
It is going to be an interesting selection dilemma.
Yeah, well, and you got to think, like, you can practice and simulate all you want, but game time is game time. And we need these players that are getting back from injury, new players mixing in. We need game time. And a low-risk scenario like this is absolutely perfect for it. Well, moving on to the women's match. We didn't speak a whole lot about the women's team or match this episode, but they're still near and dear inside of our hearts. The women's match is facing SJ's probably favorite team to pronounce. SJ, what's the name of that team?
Aberystwyth.
Yes. Aberystwyth. That is them.
It's taken me 3 years.
What was that, Simon?
And Rob, what do you think the score is going to be?
Rob, can I steal a prediction from you real quick? What do we got for it today?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 72-4.
I think that's low.
They're going to get 4?
That's low.
He's a crazy guy. But did you notice Kaitlin in the background? I kind of talked over her, but she's like 4?
She's like, you think they're going to get 4? Really?
Yeah. So we have Aberystwyth versus Wrexham. This is one of the final before the split matches. Not the final, but one of the final before the split. SJ's favorite namesake, Aberystwyth. SJ, we'll bring it over to you. Keeping in mind, we're looking at Team 6, Team 7.
We drew
on the standings. Yeah, we drew our last match. They lost their last match. But what are you thinking as a result for Wrexham versus Aberystwyth?
I think I'm going to stick. I'm going to say 2-1. I think Wrexham. I'm hoping we'll get. I think we'll do 2 goals. I know we've had a clean sheet, but I can't remember how long ago our last clean sheet was. So I'm just saying conservative 2-1, Wrexham.
Okay, 2-1, old Wrexham Town, and that's pretty conservative because this is for Simon to give him more edge, taking in consideration that the Aberystwyth has allowed 30 goals in this season, scoring only 7 themselves.
Make it 33. 3-0.
3-0.
3-0?
Okay.
3-0.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Simon, you're a very smart individual, and I have to follow you. I'm going to go 3-0 too. And just because the numbers are basically a third, to Gorse gold against. So, that being said, the closest number math-wise would be 3-0. That or saying 4-1. Maybe I'll get spicy. I'll say 4-1. I'll get spicy. I'll get spicy and say 4-1. But yeah.
And what about our esteemed owner? What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, Rob, what do you think?
72-4.
Jesus, Rob. You're out of control, Rob. Have you no decency, Rob? These women have families, Rob. We are all calling 3 wins for Wrexham in the upcoming matches. That's the way it should be every single week. Thank you for everybody joining in. SJ, you have an incredible time of editing for all the side talking and stuff that we did today. We definitely need our comment of the week. I'm going to say is Vicente. Meeting him in person, and I assume it was a compliment. He said he loves everybody, and he said nice things, which I wish I could remember. He said nice things about SJ and nice things about Simon. He both said nice things. I only listened to the nice things that he said about me.
Obviously.
And it was something along the lines of definitely that I'm saying dirty things, and I was like, you're damn right I am. You're damn right. I'll pretend to be a family show, but you're damn right. Everything that could have been said incorrectly, I did. You are correct. So
every innuendo is in. It is in.
Yes. Double in.
Since you brought him up, I just do my little pen pal shout out. So
hey.
I sent him some stickers, and this is my little shout out. If you would like some stickers, DM the pod or one of us on Twitter or Blue Sky, and hit us up and let us know, and I will get some stickers out to you and our little pen pal shout out.
And it works. They're nice stickers. I should have gave out way more stickers, but I like a lot of them, so I'm sorry for people that were in person and I did not give you any stickers. You probably saw me walking around with my sticker bag. I think I gave Kaitlin the last one, I think.
I think that's a good person to give it to you.
True. I should have had her hold up the stickers hey.
Oh, as a quick shout out recommendation, I've just started watching High Potential.
It's good.
Speaking of Kaitlin Olson.
It's good.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
She does a good job.
I think it's from a French TV show.
Oh, dude, she's doing a good job. She's crushing it.
And
she's doing a good job.
Just got renewed for season 2.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
All right.
More than what we've done. Are we up for another season?
We got canceled. This is it.
I was like, that'd be funny if they were like, yeah, we know you do this for free on your own time, but we're going to have to ask you to stop now.
Yeah.
I do a shout out, or just info shout out. We are now on Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio and Amazon Podcasts, and then also Spotify. You can catch us all over the place.
Yeah, like a virus. You can catch us all over the place. Yeah. Teach me how to get rid of this rash.
Anywho.
So
On that happy note.
yeah, anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in today. It was so good to see you. Yes, Simon.
What are we going to do? Final 5 emoji for... is there a
Darling.
I feel like it's got to be shoes. Because of those kick-ass shoes that SJ had. It's got to be shoes.
Yeah.
But it could be a
There's more
combination
likely
of
to be shoes,
shoes with the whale
emoji than
flag.
Yeah. Let's do a shoe emoji. Or we could do a zebra for Zebra Customs for John.
Ooh, but
You-
both
you
could
know-
be one or both.
Who is it? Is
One
it
of
High
each.
Desert? Like somebody, whenever you say like 10 million different emojis, they put every one of those. And they put them in order in which we said them. I wish I
Yeah.
would have ran into, and not like, it was absolutely awesome running into Vicente, but it would have been cool running into like more people and giving more stickers out. So next time, if you guys see me, I'm going to bring stickers on my person if I'm in Cosm again or if I'm somewhere else. But SJ's going to be in Cosm March 4th. March 4th.
And I am definitely bringing stickers. I have a bunch of the new ones.
Should we go? Should we go?
we should before we get cancelled.
Should we go? All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Same thing that we say every single week. Up the town.
Down.
And off with your head.